Frieza himself has come all the way to planet Earth to fight Gohan of all people. He saw Gohan's fight against Cell Max on the big screen and is pretty curious to see if he's still stronger than the Saiyans or if he's been surpassed by Gohan. It's only been 3 days since the fight against Cell Max, but now Frieza is here. He first engages with Gotenks in a quick fight, but Gotenks, even at this point in the story, is less than a warm-up for this version of Frieza. It's insane. Fortunately, Gohan shows up and catches Gotenks, who was well on his way to getting tossed out of the Earth's atmosphere. However, even though Frieza asks nicely and also shows his own Black Frieza transformation, Gohan is just unable to turn back into Beast. It was a one-time thing, or so he says. Eventually, Frieza loses his patience, maintains a pretty safe distance, and just prepares to destroy the Earth with a giant death ball. And that is where Chapter 1 of Black Frieza vs. Beast Gohan ended, and this one begins. Chapter 1, by the way, will be linked down below in the pinned comments and at the top of the screen right now. Now seems like a great time to like the video if you guys haven't already, but let's hop right back into the story. This seems pretty dangerous. You stand back, okay, Gohan? Only step in if I need you to, alright? Piccolo says, and then he transforms into Orange Piccolo. Although none of them are even too sure if they can tank one single attack from Black Frieza. Gohan also realizes that Black Frieza is just way too strong. At the very least, he was stronger than Cell Max. If he doesn't figure out how to use Beast Gohan again, it's over. He tries his hardest, even puts his mind to it, but his body just isn't responding the same as it did during the fight against Cell Max. He appears to be lacking something that's necessary for this Beast transformation. A trigger, perhaps? Subsequently, Frieza fires off that giant death ball and Piccolo immediately counters it with a maximum output special beam cannon. It wasn't as strong as the one Beast Gohan used, but it's the strongest counter Piccolo could come up with against that death ball. Krillin, 18, and Gamma 1 also shoot their strongest attacks to push the death ball back, but it's just simply not enough. Watching all of this take place, Gohan starts getting anxious. Why can't he figure this out? He tries again and again, but when it doesn't work, he just joins everyone else in trying to push back the death ball by using his own special beam cannon, but it isn't even comparable to the one he used against Cell Max. Although, thanks to the combined efforts of all of them, Frieza's death ball is ultimately bested. But what does he do next? He just laughs and fires off another one, and he doesn't even stop there either. Frieza took a page out of the Madara Handbook of Disrespect and said, cool, well, what are you going to do about the second one? As he sent a bigger death ball right behind the first one. I'd figure out that power of yours soon if I were you, brat, Frieza says to Gohan. Or maybe I should just go ahead and clean up everyone else here, that way you don't have any distractions. And Frieza was dead serious. Hey, relax, Gohan. It'll be fine for now. Just think about how you're going to beat Frieza, okay? Krillin says while destroying one of the death balls headed towards them. Gohan knows he's right, but he's seriously unable to recall how the Beast transformation even took place. He knows that the trigger was an extreme emotional reaction, but is it even possible to intentionally replicate something like that? There really was no time to think. Piccolo, Krillin, 18, and Gamma 1 try their best to stop the onslaught of death balls raining onto them, but they can only handle so many. Even Goten and Trunks join despite the fact that they haven't recovered at all yet. Time continues to pass and the more powerful death balls are getting closer and closer until they start entering the Earth's stratosphere. Gohan knew at that point, as flames started to burst in the sky, that it was already too late, and so his body moved almost instinctively on its own. He disappears and then reappears in front of one of the largest death balls headed towards them. Gohan would then release this pure destructive energy in all directions, which causes the supernova to disperse right there. But before they could explode, Gohan uses one final Kamehameha on all of the residue and just fires it all off into the next galaxy, and he does all of this within the span of a few seconds. Interesting. So this is Beast Gohan, Frieza says, delighted. But this was in no way Beast Gohan. When the dust settles, both Piccolo and Frieza notice the same thing. It's still Gohan. He hasn't used any transformation, but even so, he was able to deal with all of those death balls. They were surprised, but probably not as much as Gohan himself. I don't know. It's just that even without transforming, I feel like I'm brimming with strength, Gohan says. Maybe it's because your body remembers all the strength you had when you first transformed into Beast, Piccolo says as he approaches him. Listen, Gohan, never forget that the strength you manifested during that fight against Cell Max and the strength you demonstrated just now, they both came from inside of you. No one gave you this power. Just how many times am I gonna have to remind you? Gohan, you can be the strongest. Put your mind to it. I mean, why do you need some trigger to access power that you already have? Think about it. Does that make any sense to you? Gohan hears him and gives him a thumbs up, and then he would approach Frieza. Alright Frieza, give me your worst, Gohan states, with the deadliest glare in his eyes right now, but he still wasn't in his beast form. He was actually still base form. Frieza, suddenly a little bit more interested in disrespecting Gohan, now goes to his base form as well. The fight begins, and they're both pretty evenly matched. However, during all those punches and kicks, Frieza chooses to transform into Black Frieza for a mere instant. But of course, it was enough to catch Gohan off guard. When Gohan experiences this level of strength, he's unable to understand. The moment Black Frieza's fist came into contact with his gut, Gohan was hit so hard that he had an out-of-body experience. His body felt so much pain that it felt like he disconnected from it and saw it in third person. This trade doesn't last long though, as Gohan is by no means weak. He regains his composure and launches a powerful punch of his own on Frieza. And in the meantime, in between time, Goku and Vegeta are also done with their little duel that lasted a few days as well. They asked Whis to show them what's going on back home, and they want to see the fight between Gohan and Frieza too. Broly wasn't as curious as them, but when Whis starts showing them the battle, his attention is grabbed immediately. The same is the case with those back on Earth. Piccolo, Krillin, 18, Gamma 1, Trunks and Goten, they can't take their eyes off of the battle that's happening in the skies. Frieza seems invincible for lack of better words, but Gohan isn't just hanging in there either. Little by little, he was starting to match Frieza's power, and then it happened. Both the viewers on planet Beerus and back on Earth are left speechless as they see Gohan do something incredible. He does the same thing as Frieza, where he transforms into Beast for just a mere instance and lands a destructive blow on Frieza. Frieza experiences a crushing blackout effect that kind of reminds him of the first time he fought Super Saiyan Goku. As for Gohan, he still wasn't used to it at all, and it's fair to say that he didn't even really mean to do what he just did right there. He doesn't have any command over this transformation still yet. That was just pure talent. It's kind of similar to how it was for Goku the first time he used Ultra Instinct. It's gonna take some time and a lot of effort before Gohan is able to use Beast naturally. Frieza, on the other hand, comes back to his senses and realizes that he would have had to have been biased to admit that Gohan isn't as strong as him. If it was the old Frieza, this definitely would have pissed him off, but this Frieza isn't as immature, I guess you could say. He stops and asks Gohan to stop as well. Tell me, kid, what would it take for you to fight using that Beast transformation, Frieza says. Why? Are you gonna force me to use it or something, Gohan asks. Well, precisely. Your potential surpasses anything I've ever seen in this universe or beyond. It's the 8th wonder of the universe itself. While it took me 10 years in the Room of Spirit and Time to get to this level, you were able to do it simply because of an emotional awakening? I don't think even Broly could achieve this level so easily and naturally, Frieza states. Incredible. And you're thinking about forcing me to transform? What are you gonna do, make Krillin explode again, Gohan asks? Oh please, it'd be much more efficient to have your wife or child be the victim. And just as Frieza finishes this sentence, he experiences someone standing behind him. It was Gohan, but this time, Frieza got exactly what he asked for. He had awakened Beast Gohan, and he was standing right behind him. The moment Gohan realized what Frieza's evil mind was capable of and how he wouldn't shy away from going after his wife or daughter, Gohan's senses all fell into place, and with that, the Beast transformation would awaken for the second time. Gohan unleashes a furious special beam cannon at point blank range as he was fully intent on destroying Frieza right here. However, the moment the attack comes into contact with him, Frieza would transform into Black Frieza again, and now they're both fully transformed and at their strongest. My, quite the temper on this one, Frieza says, laughing. It was just a joke. So you mean to tell me you wouldn't do something like that, Gohan asks? Oh no, I would, Frieza replies, but it seems now that I have no need to. It was pretty clear at this point that Frieza feared no one. He wanted Beast Gohan to be at his strongest and most destructive. Luckily, Gohan's smart enough to know Frieza's game, so he immediately starts preparing a Kamehameha. He was gonna blast Frieza to the end of the universe with it, but then again, Frieza wasn't just gonna let him do that. He points his fingers and fires a death cannon right at Gohan's chest. But Piccolo fires his special beam cannon at the same time, which intercepts the death cannon in the middle and knocks it away from Gohan. Conveniently, this exchange would give Gohan enough time to unleash his beast Kamehameha. Frieza was hit by it, and while it doesn't cause any noticeable damage, it does start pushing him back. At first it's slow, but slowly it starts picking up the pace. It breaks the sound barrier and then the light barrier, but the speed keeps on increasing until it causes a distortion in the universe and pushes Frieza right through it. By the time the Kamehameha disperses, Frieza finds himself in an unknown section of the universe. Little does he know though, this isn't even Universe 7 anymore. He was pushed out of Universe 7 and straight into Universe 8. Frieza couldn't help but laugh and facepalm, honestly. Gohan wasn't trying to defeat Frieza at all with that Kamehameha. He just wanted him off of their planet, and that's exactly what he was able to pull off. Incredible, Vegeta comments. Yeah, I don't think I can blast someone with a Kamehameha like that. How did he even make it last so long, Goku adds. Please allow me to explain, Whis says. You see, pushing people and punching them are two very different types of attack. When you're pushing someone, you typically wait until after you've come into contact with them to exert that force. However, when you're punching or kicking somebody, you exert that force through your punches or kicks. All of your energy-based attacks are like that too, but Gohan tricked Frieza by not exerting any force until after the Kamehameha touched Frieza, and then he just pushed him away for as long as he could. Though I'm sure not even he could have anticipated that the Kamehameha speed would create a wormhole that pushes Frieza out of the universe. That is frighteningly talented, Whis says. Vegeta of course understands this explanation, but Goku and Broly are still scratching their heads kinda lost. And going back to Gohan, he undoes his transformation, rejoices with the other Z fighters who are at the site, and returns back home, where he makes sure to give both Videl and Pan a huge hug. But little did Gohan know that that brief exchange with Black Frieza was only the beginning, and he would for sure be back. All of this battle did is give Frieza exactly what he was looking for, and now that he knows that Beast Gohan isn't a fluke, he will for sure be back, as he's already planning on it. So make sure you guys are subbed to the channel and have those notifications turned on so you can be alerted right away when the next video goes live. And I want to thank everyone who supports early access to this series by becoming a channel member. If you're interested in that, click the join button down below and enjoy perks like badges, early access to content, and more to come. So once again, huge shout out to all of our channel members so far. You guys are honestly the best. Oh, and before I forget, I'll keep that to myself for the next video. A little surprise for you guys. We got a massive upgrade coming, but that's all I'm gonna say. Love you guys so much. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one, where hopefully we have perfect attendance on this next video, because you guys have got to see this.